"Settle down," class Miss Ricky said loudly, clapping her long, clawed hands together. "Come now, it's time to learn about Earth." Her students all groaned at the prospect of another planetary lesson, and she pursed her bright yellow lips. It had been hard for her species, the AMRA, to get used to teaching. Her students learned quickly via text, able to read more than one book with their 2 sets of slit pupils and complex brains. Her race's council leaders wanted to keep humans at arm's length. When they first made contact, human delegates spread word far and wide of the beautiful, dragon-like furry people of the stars. The attention made the council leaders uncomfortable. While flattered by the response to images of their people, the humans' eagerness led the Zamra to engage them slowly and cautiously. Humans seemed to fawn over their smooth skin, head fronds, short thick tails, and refined features. It was speculated that humans might have had dragon-like creatures on Earth that died from an unknown illness, leading to an infatuation with dragon-like entities. Miss Ricky wished her mixed classroom shared the same respect. However, the students cared little for her teachings, likely due to their age. She hated teaching adults. "Isn't Earth's history just made up?" a young blue eyeball mused, balancing a digital stylus on her nose lazily. "I heard they all just lived in giant gyms and are born in vats." A bright pink optician rolled his eyes. "If they were born in vats, they wouldn't have navels." "This is not about how humans are made, this is about their world," Miss Ricky stated, frowning prettily and wrinkling her wide nose in annoyance. "We will be going over human cultures and biology later during our studies on the cultures of the Cinderella Confederation." There was another collective groan, and Miss Ricky placed her hands on her round hips. "Really now? This is supposed to prime you all for your future professions. How are you going to know what to expect when visiting other planets? I'm sure you've all heard of the folly that came before the optician visit to Earth," Miss Ricky growled, crossing her arms. All the optician in the classroom grimaced, remembering too well their first pilots burying their craft into the dirt of Earth. The same young Y-pal, balancing her stylus, snatched it off her nose when another of her fellows spoke up, a male Ural with fur like fur light. "That's not even going to change anything. They may be working out their muscles on that stupid orbital platform, but their hearts still grow weak from lack of gravity. If the optician even run too much, they risk heart failure. Might as well put them in pressure suits as they frolic around the flowers," the blue female Ural said, grinning at the male fanged Lee. Before Miss Ricky could make them quiet, multiple opticians stood up in outrage, despite the sudden exertion making them break out in a sweat. "We do not need suits to be on Earth," the pink male optician called out, slamming his clawed hand on the table. "We can earn our way through strength like the rest of you." A yellow female optician rounded on the blue female Ural. "All of us have been working out, our entire base converted into gravity chambers to toughen ourselves." "All you did was hide in mine asteroids the entire war," the blue female Ural growled, leaning back smugly. Miss Ricky slammed her thick hands against her table, rattling her data slates and causing her jewelry to rattle against her shoulders. "That is enough. Sit down now. I will not have this divisive talk in my classroom." All the Ural and opticians saw how Miss Ricky's head fronds expanded and vibrated with her rage. They either leaned forward or sat back down. The Zamra might be a bookish race, but they could still attack the mind when riled up. Miss Ricky cleared her throat, smoothing down her teaching robes and resettling her mantle of duty. The car-like Poe and Jin within the room exchanged awkward glances. The Jin, new to the Cinder Confederation, were nearly destroyed during the war against the Derrier. Seeking to repay the humans for preserving their culture, they now numbered only in the low millions from their peak billions. One brave Jin raised his hand, his eyes barely visible under his curved mask. "So Earth?" "Yes, Earth," Miss Ricky said, tapping the data screen to bring it to life. "Earth is what many classify as a death world. Is that because of how boring it is?" The blue female Ural interrupted, prompting eye rolls from the males around her. This time Miss Ricky spun around, her head fronds deployed, and she fixed the Ural with a steely glare. Miss Mirak, she clapped her hands to her head, her body suddenly filled with dread. "Wait," Mirak wailed, fingers digging into her fur as Miss Ricky focused her will on the insolent Ural. "Be quiet, Miss Mirak," Miss Ricky said firmly. Mirak writhed on the ground, crying out, "Okay, I'm sorry, stop it." Miss Ricky's fronds slowly stopped quivering and deflated, lying neatly against her head and neck. She looked around the room. "Anyone else wishing to disrupt my class?" Many heads shook back and forth. The Jinn wondered what they had gotten themselves into. Miss Riki cleared her throat, smoothing her robes again as she gestured toward the screen. As I stated, many classify Earth as a death world due to its high gravity and its inhabitants' culture. Humans, as we all know, are an extremely militant race compared to the rest of us, honing their skills for war by battling among themselves for thousands of years, perhaps longer. Their gravity has allowed them to grow thick muscles and become quite strong. Those of the Confederation training with humans note they tire far quicker and cannot last as long in combat trials compared to humans. Humans training on other worlds dominate the training with ease, Miss Riki said, tapping her fingers to switch slides, showing humans throwing Ural like sacks of grain or bending Zamra nearly in half during combat trials. While clever, they lack the focused intelligence the rest of us possess. But that does not make them stupid. They are highly dangerous, predatory beings who can think quickly and make calculations on the move that even the Optisans struggle with. They merely lag behind in raw intelligence, but that may not last long. A juniper-colored Ural raised his hand. Then why haven't humans taken over the Confederation if they're so powerful? Why not do what the Darrier tried? It is a fair question, Miss Riki said with a smile, tapping her middle finger to her thumb. The screen switched to slides showing humans laughing and smiling with other races. They are an extremely sociable race and seem to like us, so they are not outwardly aggressive. Some humans have coined the phrase take and give when it comes to working with them. They are only outwardly aggressive if provoked first. A female djinn raised her topmost arm, waving her hand. Is that why the Zamra have a non-social engagement clause with the humans? Miss Riki blushed, not expecting the djinn to be aware of that. She cleared her throat. When we first made contact, humans were enamored with us, and our council feared for. I heard they were seducing too many Zamra women, a Carrick said, with raised brows. Half the landing party went off mission and have yet to leave Earth, causing Zamra leadership to panic. They were causing social issues, yes, Miss Riki said shortly, shaking her head as her tendrils flared in embarrassment. Our council feared it would cause a social death. How curious, the female djinn murmured. So, a death world in more than one way. Due to the nature of humans, Miss Riki agreed, tapping through more slides slowly to let the students look. More advanced scholars believe humans are akin to an infection, working their way into all levels of society. However, despite this outlook, those who meet humans find them good company. It matters not how the other races look. Just last week, one of the gelatinous Auror made a human friend, dragging their entire race out of an emotional slump. APO raised his hand. Aren't the Auror just intelligent jelly balls in suits? I heard they have tentacles that work nodes in their suits to move. They are highly advanced invertebrates recently found on their planet. No one wanted to work with balls of slime with tentacles, so they were ostracized by the races at large. Humanity, however, finds them curious, Miss Riki mused, turning back to the data screen. Besides its gravity, Earth has multiple biodomes due to humans not controlling their planet's weather or temperature. As you know, the Confederation tempers planets to make them comfortable for all visitors. Earth, however, does not do this. Miss Riki waved her hand at the screen, zooming in on a flat image of Earth and its temperature zones. Some areas can go as low as 35 degrees C or as hot as 54 degrees C. They don't live in those areas, do they? A male Lipal asked, staring at the screen. Why would they allow such temperatures? I couldn't tell you why they allow it, Miss Riki shrugged. But some of them actually live in such locations or vacation there for the challenge of surviving. This is not new. Humans have been battling their planet's weather for as long as they've been fighting each other. But why? Ain asked, not bothering to raise his hand. Perhaps because they master all other predators and see the planet itself as their last challenge. This is seen in their sports as well, many of which are outlawed for other members of the Confederation. What kind of sports? A female djinn called out in excitement. Is there wrestling? Miss Riki giggled politely, tapping her fingers to switch slides to human sports. Oh yes, quite a few are allowed by the Confederation, but extreme human sports are outlawed for their death rate. They have sports where they die? The djinn asked again. Quite a few. Humans are known to climb or dive into caves risking death, climb rock faces without safety equipment, ride waves on planks, ride fearsome beasts with only a rope, race combustion engine vehicles, and leap from great heights with only a sheet of nylon to arrest their fall. Miss Riki listed, showing slides of each sport until she came to a slide of two bloody humans in a netted ring. There is even extreme sparring where two humans, male and female alike, batter each other until time runs out or one is knocked unconscious. Miss Riki grimaced at the slide of a bleeding female human before switching to another. Humans may be trying to beat death itself, running out of unbeatable enemies. You said they ride great beasts, Ao asked, her hair glittering gold. What kind of beasts? I thought all planets eradicated large predators for safety. Miss Riki laughed. Yes, this is true, but humans do not abide by such rules. They believe it is. How did they say? Unfair, unfair. Unfair. The PO snorted. What is unfair about evolution? We PO destroyed every predator and animal larger than a boom so our planet is safe. Why even keep big animals alive in cages? Cages? Miss Riki raised a brow. You think humans keep big animals in cages? The PO blanched, eyes wide. They're in cages, right? Miss Riki rapidly tapped her thumb to bring up the correct slide, and the class recoiled. What is that? A djinn called out, standing and stepping back. This is a grizzly bear, a predator on Earth that still roams wild in the forests, Miss Riki said, smirking at their fear. It can reach speeds of over 35 mph, or 56 kph, meaning it can chase down and catch Yorl at their top speed. The Yorl in the room looked stunned or horrified. It has a bite strength that can cleave through human bones. This is a lion, which can run up to 37 mph in short bursts during ambushes and has the same bite strength as a grizzly bear. Then there are cheetahs, land predators that can reach 80 mph and have a bite force under that of the lion. It does not stop there. Miss Riki kept clicking through the major land predators of Earth, then to the ones under the water killer whales, sharks, and barracuda. These are not accounting for the animals humans keep as pets, including canine and feline predators. Why do they even leave these things alive? They're monsters, a shaking male Yorl cried out. What is the point? Miss Riki laughed calmly. Humans keep these creatures around because if they weren't there, nature would be too boring. The room sat in silence as the words sunk in, and Miss Riki nodded. Yes, I know what you're thinking, and they truly believe this. She turned around, nudging the desk with her thick tail, and plugged a new data chip into the screen. Nature would lose its pizzazz, the extra spark that makes it special. She quickly tapped her fingers, bringing up multiple pictures of prowling Earth predators on land and ocean.